How you doing, guys? So we're gonna talk why some people can sell versus the ones cannot be salesperson. No matter how hard you're gonna teach him, if he doesn't have dermal vector, you can check my vector psychology, it's gonna be impossible. Because dermal vector person, when we lived in primeval time, like primeval man, and we lived as a tribe, every one of us had its like species role, like main role. That every one of us, every vector, had this additional desire that is what that he was transferring it to his like species role or main role, you can call. Now, additional desire, for example, anal vector, it was a desire to teach and train teenagers, or audio vector, it was to think about some global things. Now, dermal vector person, he had this emptiness, he had this frustrations. He didn't understand what happened, why why we all starving, what we can do to stop this starving. We always was starving in ancient time. So every time when you have, by the way, frustrations and that kind of emotion, it's emptiness. You're missing something. Now he was so much frustrated that he got into the idea that in order to stop be starving, he has to kill more animals. So that's how he got out of this frustration. That's how he became kind of more comfortable when every time he figures something out, that balances his biochemistry. So after that, he got again frustration, and we'll talk about that later. But let's focus on what happened with that. Now, he starts to kill and make tribe to kill more than we need. And why is that? So tribe could survive. We can't find wild animals every day. I mean, it was a shortage of them. There is only a few tigers walking around, or whatever, the deers. Now, so what happened is, if person has this deep desire to get more for something less, and I know every training you go, business training, they're gonna tell you win-win, no lose, but salesperson, he cannot sell something for 50 cents if he bought it for 50 cents. So I understand win-win, but he has to sell it for 70 cents or $1. So he got that additional desire of more resources, of killing more wild animals, of more energy. So dermal vector person, every time the same thing in sales. If you take anal vector person, that's teacher, and you put him as a salesperson, it's the most fair person that you can find. 50-50. It has to be fair. Whatever I get, you should get. Whatever I spend, you should get for the same. So he's gonna sell your products for the same price or even less than. It's gonna damage all the sales structure. So make sure you put dermal vector. At least somebody has the dermal vector in their personality. Now, as you can see, sometimes if you have, for example, oral vector in the personality, if you want to put him as a salesperson, he still needs to have the dermal. It can be dermal oral, that's no problem. There is a lot of these kind of people. but it must have the oral vector. Now, if you want to find out exactly how to spot, how to figure out that person has that dermal vector in his personality, keep an eye on my video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna explain you in more details how to figure that out. Alright, see you.